All right, this video is going to walk you through how to complete the Math Models Unit 10 project. When you log into your Google Classroom and you go to the classwork page and look at your assignments, you'll see that there will be three files. You will have a file that is called MMPro 10 COVID version, which is the step-by-step directions. That's what I have here. You'll have a Google Sheet file, which has your name. And it looks basically like this. And then you'll have another document, a Word document that looks like this. That is where you are going to put the results of your project. So I'm going to walk through this. We're going to go through step by step. First things first, obviously we're going to put our name here, put the date. And that's what you do so far. So from there, let's go to our step by step. And it says for step one, visit population pyramid. Okay, so we're going to open this link to this website. Should open in a new tab. Of course, if I can get this to open, there we go. This website is going to have lots of different data about different countries and by year and all sorts of different things. And we're going to focus on just a few, but the list of other different indicators or other data is down here, and you'll be using these links, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. So the point of this project is that you're going to use the data from different countries' populations to make predictions about the population of that country going forward. We're going to make an equation to describe that country, and we're going to predict what the population might be in 2030 if the trend that exists continues. So the way that's going to work is this. It says here, visit population pyramid and select 5 countries to get data from the demographic overview reports. You will need to scroll down the page to find some of these reports. You will collect data for the following for the years 80, 90, 2000, 2010, 2020, and then you have 4 items you're going to do. We're going to focus on the population part for now. So let's say for my first country, I'm going to choose, let's see, how about Morocco? So I'm going to go here to my template, and I'm going to type in Morocco. I'm going to edit the tab title to be Morocco as well. Then I'm going to go to my Google Doc, and I'm going to change the name of country 1 to Morocco. And so that's the first country I'm going to do. So I'm only going to go through one example of one country. You're going to do 5 different countries. So let's say we're choosing Morocco, and we go to population pyramid. And on population pyramid, I can either click on this drop-down list and search Morocco, or I can go by letters over here. So let's say I click on a world and I search Morocco, and there it is. So this is Morocco, and right now it's showing me the population from 2019. And so I'm going to go back until I get to 1980. The way I'm going to go back is I'm going to click these arrow, or not these arrows, but these plus or minus years until I get down to 1980. 84, 89, 84, and 1980. And so I have the population of that country in 1980 right here, 19,990,006. So we're going to copy that. You can just highlight it, click copy, and then we're going to paste that into our 2 tables. So I'm going to go over to my template on the sheets. I'm going to copy that. Obviously, it needs to be down as a number. I'm going to fix the font size here. So let me go back real quick. All right. So I've got the first year of the population, and then I continue to move through, getting the population for each year after that. So let's go and grab 10 years later, 1990. There's the population. hop back over to my sheet, and I paste it there. If you want to paste the way I did, you're going to do right click and you can do paste special, and paste values only will make it so it's the right size to fit into that cell. So we're going to keep going. Go to 2000 now. We'll go 10 years up again. And there's our population for the year 2000. And so we go back to our template, and we're going to copy and paste special, paste values only. Let me go to 2010. There's another one. It's our next year. Again, paste special, format only. Oops, not format only. How about values only? There we go. Then we go population again for 2020, and copy that into the final cell there. All right, so now we have these values in our table. And so that is the main portion of step number 1 and part of step number 2. So we've found the data. We've entered the data onto the Google Doc and the Google Sheet. We actually haven't done the Google Doc, so I'll show you how to do that. The easiest way to do the data on the Google Doc is to take these cells right here, highlight them by dragging, copying them, going to the template here, highlighting the cells, and clicking paste here. And it should paste the data into that. So that's the population data from over here. So again, to do that, you highlight these cells, you click copy, you go over to the next one, you highlight the cells you want to copy the data into, and you paste that data there. And this is just because this is where you're going to be presenting the data. Now I'm going to go ahead and go through how to do the fertility rate, life expectancy, and net migration. So let's go ahead and go through that. So to find the first one, it says we need to find the, what did it say? Total, I think it was fertility rate. Total fertility rate. Let's go down here. Let's find fertility rate total. So I click this link, and we find Morocco on our list. There's Morocco 2.49 in the year 2015. Oh, we need to go. $2.49 and, oh no, sorry about that. 2.54 for 2010. Oops. Go back 2 years. To year 2000. You know where your countries are. You can just highlight them here. 2.69 for the year 2000. 2.69. Let me go back to 1990. Morocco 3.31. Go back to year 1980. Oh, I messed up, I think. Go back 1990. 4.06 actually. Go back to 1980. Morocco 5.68. Then we go find life expectancy. Scroll down. We go back to our main page, and we go to life expectancy. You'll notice that there is not a piece of data for the 2020. So we're not going to do anything for those. We'll just leave those blank. That's totally fine. We're going to go life expectancy now. Life expectancy at birth total. Again, we have a similar deal the way this works. So we're going to go back to 2010 first. And we see Morocco has a life expectancy of 72.58 for the year 2010, 72.58. So this is just me entering the data that I found. Year 2000, 68.5. 1990. Sorry, it's a little laggy right now. 64.68. 57.51. You see there's a big change that's occurred in life expectancy and the fertility rate, which is interesting, I think. Go back to the main page, and we're going to go look for migration rate, net migration rate. Let this load. And go down and look for migration. Okay, you know what? We're going to get rid of that one because it's not showing up anymore. That's okay. We'll delete that from our template for you guys, so you're not going to do net migration rate. No big deal. All right. So the reason those other two are on there is because those should tell you sort of something about the growth of the population. If we're seeing, the life expectancy go up or down and the fertility rate going up or down, it's going to affect the population. So this is the data that you need to get down. So far what we've done is we've found the data that we need. We've entered the data onto the Google Sheet, and we've entered the data onto the Google Doc. So for up to this point, we're done with all of step 1, and we've done most of step 2. Now we need to do this this graph deal. So right now, you'll notice the graph doesn't show anything. And the reason that is that it is not set with the right parameters, meaning there is no, the range of the population is too low. You see it only goes from 5,000 up to 15,000. We need to say this information. So what we're going to do is we're going to follow the directions on our step-by-step. It says to double click on the chart to open the menu. So we're going to double click on this chart. All right, that worked for me before. Let's see how this is going to go. There it is. All right, opened up. I'm going to move my window over here. All right. And then it says we're going to, so we opened our menu. We select the customize option. Customize, got it. Open the vertical axis menu. So we go to vertical axis, and you should see this menu that we have here. And you need to go to the min and max, which if you see is down here, min and max. And we are going to set the value to be just below and above your population values. In other words, my population starts at 19 million something. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to customize it to start at, for the vertical axis, to start at 19 million. And I'm going to say it needs to go up to, let's say, 40 million. And you'll see that once we do that, the graph now shows the data from our chart, which is what we want. So you can close the customize, and your chart is almost complete. At this point, we have the data from this table shown on our chart. All right, so that's it for step 2. And moving on to step 3, we're going to go to this website. We're going to open this link. And we're going to enter the data from our chart here and here into our table. One note, you want to, I'm going to show you a quick situation here that you need to think about. So first of all, I'm going to clear this out. Let's clear all of this data out of here. Okay. And one thing I'm going to note is instead of using, one second. There we go. Okay. Instead of using 1980, you're going to start by using 80, 90 for 1990. For 2000, you're going to use 100. 2010, you're going to use 110. And you use 120 for the for these. So when you enter these in, you need to basically subtract 1,900. And it just makes it a little cleaner and easier to work with. All right. So then on our Y side, we're going to enter all of our data here. I'm going to attempt to copy and paste this to see if it works. It does. So you can copy and paste directly from your Google Sheet by copying the same cells we did earlier and copying it into the Y column of the website. All right. So once you have that data entered, you're going to click execute. And it should take a minute to load. All right. Oh, that's interesting. That shouldn't be that way. Error. Interesting. All right. I did figure out what the error was happening for, and that's because earlier there were commas in our numbers. You need to delete the commas from your Y values so that it is just no commas. So delete the commas from those values, and you'll get this little graph, and you'll get this information here. So this A and this B are the most important numbers. So basically what this A and B are they are the values that go into this function in the form y equals a times bx. So the way that you're going to document this is you're going to go over to here, and where it says formula here, you're going to go into that spot and you're going to type y equals, and then you're going to put the first number, which is the a value. The a value is 6,287,000. I'm just going to copy that number if I can. Can't, apparently. So we're going to copy 6.6287053. 6.287.053 times, and then we're going to put our B value, which is 1.015. You can just round it, 1.015. And then you're raised to X. This is the way you're going to write it. So you have your A, oops. You're going to have your A value, your B value raised to the X. And that's what your equation should look like. And that is how you're going to type it in, just like you see here. And that is your equation that you're going to use in the next step. So in my next step, I'm going to get a calculator of some kind, and I'm going to plug in the number for 2030, and I'm going to try to find the value for that. So I'm going to go, in my instance, I'm going to go and go to the Desmos calculator for you guys. And we're going to I'm going to use the scientific calculator. And I'm going to type my information in from my equation, which is 6287053. 6287053 times, and then I'm going to put inside the parentheses 1.015, and I'm going to do raised to, and then I'm going to put 1,130. Remember, we did 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, and so the next number for 2030 would be 130. And when I do that, I get this number right here. This is the predicted population of Morocco in the year 2030. So what we did is we created a way of predicting the future population based on the past values. That's kind of what this is meant to illustrate. So this is my number that I'm going to type. I'm going to take and put in my final here, and that should show that it's continuing. Now, this is where you do have to be aware of the fact that maybe my population number actually went off my chart, my vertical axis. So if that happens and you see it doesn't reach all the way over to here, you're going to open this up again and you're going to make another alteration to you're going to go customize vertical axis like we did earlier. Look at those steps again, and you're going to change this, and maybe we'll change this to 45 million, and there we go. Now we can see the entirety of the graph. So that's what you're being told to do in step 3 and step 4. So I need to change this to say 2030, and that is the value I entered right there. And then once I'm done with that, it just says copy the chart. So to copy the chart, you can go to your sheet right here, go up to the top, click these 3 buttons, click copy chart. Okay, so I clicked copy chart, and then I go back to my doc. I select this right here. This is just a generic graph that you're going to replace. I'm going to right click, and I'm going to click paste. It's going to ask if I want it linked or unlinked. Doesn't matter. I just chose linked. And then I'm going to adjust the size of everything so that it all fits on the graph or on the one page. So let's try to fit this. Let's make this a little smaller. There it goes. So now on one page, I have Morocco. I have the population numbers, the fertility rate, the life expectancy, and I have the graph that I made. And that is the graph using this equation. Maybe I should just use this as put a header there so people know what that is. And basically, you're going to repeat that same process for 5 other countries. So maybe I go back here and I say, well, now I want to do Algeria. I choose Algeria or whatever other country, Australia, and I put the values in there for that country based on the population of the different years. And basically repeat the process, and you're going to do it 5 times. And once you get all 5 done, all of your final information should be on the project template. And once you have those 5, you just let me know through Google Classroom, and that is the end. All right, so that's pretty much a how-to of how to do one country. You'll do, again, 5 of them, and then you're done with the project.